More than 26 million people in the United Kingdom watched the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. Monday's service was the first televised funeral of a British monarch. The 26.2 million viewers is one of the biggest moments in British TV history. Data on how many watched on personal computers or smartphones will be published next week. But what was inside of Westminster Abbey like? That is the question. And for more on that, we go now to Archbishop Eamon Martin, Archbishop of Armagh and the Primate of all Ireland. He also attended Monday's state funeral. Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time today. We're grateful. First off, what was it like to be at the historic funeral, and what moments really struck you the most?
Well, thank you, Tracy, and hello, everyone. It was quite an experience, I have to say. First of all, the invitation to attend the funeral only came in a few days beforehand. So I was quite honoured and humbled as a faith leader, as the Catholic Church Primate here in Ireland, to be invited. But I got an even greater surprise then to realise that along with other church leaders, Christian church leaders on these islands in Ireland and Great Britain, that we were right up at the very center of what was happening. I was only maybe 3 or 4 meters away from King Charles and the royal family, and maybe 5 meters away from the coffin of Queen Elizabeth II. So it was very moving for me, very humbling to be present, and to realize that in that abbey at that moment, we had people from faith leaders to civic leaders to royalty from all over Europe, heads of state from the Commonwealth countries, as well as from many countries around the world, including President Biden and many other world leaders. To be present in that abbey at a Christian service with prayer, readings from scripture, wonderful and beautiful hymns of praise to God. I just thought there's something very special about this, and it's an honor for me to be present.
It sounds like it was indeed. Can you talk to us about the other Catholic leaders who were present?
Oh, yes, of course. I was joined in the area of the sacrarium or the sanctuary area by Cardinal Archbishop Vincent Nichols, the Primate of the Church in England and Wales, by Archbishop Mark O'Toole, the Archbishop of Cardiff, by Archbishop Leo Cushley, the Archbishop of St. Andrews and Edinburgh, and myself. So you could see that the Catholic Church leaders from the islands here were invited. Then in terms of the heads of state, as you're probably aware, Pope Francis asked Archbishop Paul Gallagher to attend on his behalf, and I believe also the papal nuncio, Archbishop Claudio Guglielmi, were also present there. So it was a good representation from the Catholic Church, which, let's remember, is quite unusual to be present in such a way at an Anglican church funeral service, and to have such an active part in it. Cardinal Nichols led one of the prayers together with other faith leaders.
We have maybe a minute or so left, but I'm curious, do you have any favorite memories of the late Queen Elizabeth II that stand out in your mind?
Well, for me, the only time that I met her personally was a very significant moment in the history of these islands. She came to Enniskillen, which is a town in Northern Ireland, a town which had a horrific bombing and maiming and killing of people. And she came there as a pilgrim for peace. She took the very unusual first step of crossing over from the Anglican cathedral and walking across to become the first monarch to set foot inside a Catholic church on the island of Ireland. And she did this at a very delicate time in the building of peace. And I happened to be present. It was before I was ordained as a bishop, but I went there to represent my diocese. I found her to be somebody who really put you at your ease. And she was courageous in taking risks for peace at a time in Ireland and Northern Ireland where we needed leaders to step out and be the first to reach out that hand of friendship and reconciliation.
Well, Your Excellency, thank you so much for speaking with us today and sharing all of this. We really appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Tracy. God bless everyone.